Welcome in, everybody, to the second episode of the Ball Talk Media NBA show. We are here recording on May 4th, 2025. First round of the NBA playoffs just concluded with a Game 7 of Rockets and Warriors in Houston. We also got started with the second round today with the Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Pacers went in and stole Game 1 in Cleveland, much to the delight of my co-host Devin LaTulippe. Devin, how we feeling after the big Pacer win today?
Game 1, nothing can bring me down. I'm feeling great.
Yeah, we're gonna cover it all today. We're gonna get into Aaron's Minnesota Timberwolves taking out the LA Lakers. So that's 2 out of 3 of us that are leaving this first round happy. Aaron, I know you're feeling pretty good.
Pretty ecstatic, man. Here we go. Sure. Always said, man, hold on 1 second. What did they say?
My Snapchat.
All right, so we're fresh off of watching Game 7 of Golden State Houston, as we said, and this was a game where we got a Buddy Hield legacy night, to say it lightly. Yeah. I mean, this was the Hield game of all Hield games, and the thing about these Game 7s is it's so tight, it's so tense, every possession matters so much that we get accustomed to these rock fights, which for Houston, this was one. I mean, it's not like Golden State absolutely lit up the scoreboard, but the shot making from 3 that Golden State displayed, I believe they did shoot over 40%. Most of that was Buddy Hield, and then Steph Curry poured in 4 of his own. And that was honestly, going into this series, just kind of the big difference between these two teams. It was Golden State has been here before. They have a plan offensively. They know how they're going to score. Now, we didn't know to which the efficiency or the amount that they were going to do that. But with Houston, they're a little bit offensively challenged. We knew that, and that ended up just being true, I would say, and it was put on display under the biggest spotlight in Game 7.
The Rockets and the Warriors. So the Warriors made 18 threes, and the Rockets attempted 18 threes. You're not going to win a ball game when your opponent makes the same amount of threes as you attempt. That's what, honestly, as the Timberwolves fan, I wanted to play the Warriors for the the whole ant knocking off like LeBron, KD, Steph next. But like matchup wise, I think the Rockets have been amazing because like their offense is it's bad.
It's bad. I mean,
it's bad.
We knew that they were really missing that. When we need a bucket, we're going to go to this guy. Now, for games 1 through 6, shockingly, to me at least, shockingly, it was Fred VanVleet. But going into this series, we knew Jalen Green was the wild card. We knew, honestly, if they were going to win, they were going to need him to be that guy to go get them a bucket. He had one game where he had 38. I believe it was, Game 2, Game 3? One of those. Mm-hmm. It was early in the series. But other than that, he pretty much didn't do anything. And that was a bad formula for Houston. If you would have told me that before the series, that Jalen Green had one good game throughout the whole series, and then it went to 7, that would have been pretty surprising to me. So Houston was down 3-1 at one point, and they pushed it to a Game 7. Going to Golden State and getting that Game 6 win was, honestly, I didn't think that was going to happen. And they went and did that. Yeah, like we said, Fred VanVleet was offensively at least keeping Houston afloat throughout this series, him and Şengün. And obviously the future is bright for Houston, but even though they were the 2 seed, I thought it was just going to be tough for them to win this series the whole time. I mean, this is a Golden State team that's been there and done it. This is 10 plus years now of Curry and Draymond together, of Steve Kerr, and pretty much the inevitable happened, it seemed like.
Yeah, I had this one over in 6, honestly. I'll give the Rockets. They were able to push it to 7. That's honestly kind of crazy. They just have a good ball handle. They don't have a main ball handle. Like you saw it tonight when the Warriors went to the zone somewhere in the second quarter and slowed the game down. The Rockets really struggled. And that's when the Warriors got off to their big. They led by 12. And they never stopped. The Rockets might have cut it. They cut it to 2 or 3 at one point, and they never got the lead after that. So if the Rockets do want to take it to that next level, they need to go out and get a ball handler that can lead the team.
They're going to come up in plenty of those rumors this offseason. I mean, we'll probably talk about it more on future episodes, but I mean, we all know Durant's getting moved, and they're definitely going to be a team that comes up in that. But man, yeah, sometimes there was just so many Houston possessions where it's just hard to watch. Like, I guess in the regular season, a lot of times it was Jalen Green, but sometimes tonight, especially when Şengün's off the court, it's just they give the ball to Fred VanVleet and tell him to go cook. And
the Warriors,
that kind of speaks for itself,
Steph just owns the Rockets' whole frame. If I was a Rockets fan, I would hate Steph. I would be Steph's.
Yeah, man. He's tortured them.
5-0.
So many times. What was this, the 4th or 5th series against him?
5th series at 2015, 16, 18, 19, and then this year.
Yeah, man.
That's wild.
Yeah.
He's been terrorizing most of the NBA for a long time now. And, from my fandom point of view, because, he's done it to the Grizzlies plenty of times, it's excruciating. It's infuriating. Watching him hit those 30-foot step-back dagger threes that you can't do anything about. But at the same time, as a basketball fan, which I love the game of basketball, I don't want him to retire because he's so stinking fun to watch. I'll stand on this. Like, my favorite thing in basketball is a Steph heater when it's not against my team. Unfortunately, if you go on YouTube and you watch a video of Steph Curry heat checks, I promise you at least half of them are against the Grizzlies. At least it feels like that. But take that aspect out of it, it's pure entertainment, man. It's like if someone has never watched basketball before and I had to show them one clip to get them into the sport, I'm probably showing them some type of Steph just fireball game where he makes 12 threes.
Yeah.
And Houston knows about that all too well.
One thing I do want to like, Steph almost blew another 3-1 lead. But I will say, though, I think 3-1 leads in general are overrated sometimes with, like, comebacks. I feel like if two teams are evenly matched up and one team's up 3-1 and the other team is down 3-1 has home court advantage, like for instance, the Lakers. If we lost to LA and they beat us in Game 6, it's Game 7 at their house. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think if you're the higher seed and you're down 3-1, it's like it's not that big, but I was thinking about that. Because the LeBron 3-1 is different, obviously. The LeBron 3-1 is crazy.
Yeah.
He has a 3-9 Warriors team. But if Steph would have blew another 3-1 lead, man, it would have been
It'd have been rough. Definitely would have been rough.
Conversations had.
Think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think blowing a 3-1 lead to the Rockets would be pretty interesting, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's fair, but I'm not here to do a Steph legacy podcast, but I feel like a lot of it's already cemented. Like I don't know. I think if Steph, it would have sucked, but I think most people that knows what they're talking about wouldn't really hold that against him too much. It's not like this is the perfect Warriors team.
I was like the top.
I mean, Houston won 56 games,
and you talk like top 10 players of all time, and then like when you're trying to make your rankings, you would. You know what I mean? It's the legacy stuff.
We're not here to do that right now. We'll do that another day. Let's move on to Denver and the Clippers, which was the series that I was looking the most forward to. I know Devin's pretty pumped to talk about this one. And on this one, I think Aaron brings this up all the time, when we're just talking hoops. It's so, I guess, I don't want to say disingenuous, but Game 7s are very rare, and there's a lot of people that like to say, "Oh, this series is going to 7. I got this team winning in 7." Well, I really genuinely thought this series was going to go to 7 games, and I was right. Most people that said that were right. And similar to the Warriors Game 7, it just wasn't that great of a Game 7. But there were a lot of entertaining games in this series. I say a lot relative to the amount of games that are played, especially relative to some of the other series. And I mean, the Clippers let us down. I don't think they let Devin down, but I know Aaron and I were both.
Who would have thought that a James Harden-led Clippers team was going to let people down?
Okay, we're chill. I don't know. James Harden's so weird sometimes because like his passing was really good, but like James Harden not shooting the ball frustrates me so much.
He took 8 shots in Game 7.
Yeah, I saw there's a stat. It's like 55 times, and it's like he's had more turnovers than shots made in the playoff game.
Yeah, that was the story of the Game 7 for the Clippers. They lose on the road in Denver. Harden only has 8 field goal attempts, and I mean a very disappointing end to a very promising team. And obviously Denver was no pushover, as we know. They had the best player in the world on their roster, but it was obvious. It's obviously a flawed roster. I mean, they fired their head coach. This wasn't some perfect Denver Nuggets team that we envisioned, but credit to them, credit to David Adelman, credit to everybody on the team.
Shout out
stepping
Christian
up and
Brown.
Yeah, Christian Brown, the Game 7 hero, quite frankly, for Denver. He's filled in very, very, very nicely in that Bruce Brown, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope swingman role that we've been used to with this Denver team. And it wasn't really...
Shout out Westbrook.
Yeah, Westbrook.
Russ.
Westbrook, yes.
Yeah, the full Russ experience. Game 1 had the 5 for 17 performance, yet he hit the big 3 in the corner.
What did he shoot, like 3 of 5 from 3 in Game 7?
Yeah.
He's actually a really elite 3-and-D guy right now, respectfully. Like standing, like catch and shoot threes wide open, not like the crate your own dribble off the pull up three. But like
he had one of those too. He had a step back three.
I know, bro. It was nuts.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, for a guy like him coming off the bench at this stage in his career, how big of a swing guy he is for Denver. Just affecting, like if he plays bad and compared to when he plays good, sort of like Harden is for the Clippers. It's just Harden's on a bigger scale than that because Harden at this point is a much better player than Westbrook. But yeah, and this series was, I thought one of the more interesting parts was it wasn't an overly dominant 7-game Nikola Jokic series, and it's not that he didn't play well. It's just it took more than him doing his thing, and I mean, and the Clippers pretty much did as well as you could guarding him. I mean, there was so many,
He got off to a slow start in Game 7.
He did, yeah. I mean, I know he had one game where he had 36, and then I remember Game 6 he had 25 and about 8 and 6 or 8 and 7, something like that. And he just kept having these like 22 to 25 point games, and he would get his rebounds and his assists. But like if you're the Clippers and you're saying Joker's going to average 25, 10, and 9, what I don't know off the top of my head what he averaged, but if you're just going to say that to the Clippers before the series starts, I bet they would have expected a better result than this. But like we talked about, it was Christian Brown, it was Russell Westbrook,
Aaron Gordon.
And Aaron Gordon. It was all these nuggets. But one I want to talk about, obviously Jamal Murray was a question mark coming into this because, you know, he's been off a little bit this regular season. But as we all know, though, Jamal Murray is a classic just playoff riser. He's going to take it to another level in the postseason. And I thought he had his 43-point game in this series, along with Anthony Edwards' 43-point game in Game 4 of the Wolves series. I thought those two games were by far the best individual performances from this first round. I mean, it was masterful. He put up 43, and he was out every possession. He made the right play. His passing was on display. His playmaking, obviously, the scoring was there. He was making so many tough shots, just tough shot after tough shot, and it's the playoff Jamal Murray we're used to seeing. And it was so much fun. I mean, when him and Jokic get going in the pick and roll, and then you can throw Gordon in with that because honestly, people like to talk about the Murray Jokic 2-man game, but it's really a Murray Jokic Gordon kind of triangle with Gordon playing from the dunker or from the corner, wherever he wants to play from, cutting off those Jokic passes. It's really fun to watch when they have it going right. And for the most part, they did. And that was, like we said, with the role player performances along with that, is a big reason Denver pulled the series out. And they'll advance to face OKC in the second round.
Yeah, that'd be a great series too. I think, I don't know, Jokic is just going to dominate in that series too. He dominates in every series, but that one's going to really kind of change the tide.
If MPJ, the way they beat the Thunder is MPJ shoots the ball good. Because, you know, Murray's going to get his, Jokic going to get his, but you got to keep up with all the Thunder's role players. And so if Jokic and Murray can't be the ones going to win it for them, because Thunder will bring in basically a second unit. It's going to be that could be a starting 5 anywhere, like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, and all them. So they need some more scoring, or a good Legacy Westbrook series, but
we might get a Legacy Westbrook series. Crazy things are happening.
Later talk.
Yeah, the Clippers, we know about their history. I'll hold my L here. I'll hold my L because, you know, we've talked about all the time the Clippers underachieving and not performing up to their standard, but in the past it's really just been mostly because of injuries, because of the lack of availability, not necessarily performance. And I mean, the series went to 7 games in a series in which the Clippers did not have the home floor advantage, and everybody was healthy. Kawhi played all 7 games. Kawhi was great. Kawhi's game 2 was incredible. It was probably the third best postseason performance I saw from a single player. And he was great in Game 6, along with him and Harden combined for over 50 in Game 6. And Zubac was great. I think for the people who were choosing Zubac to be on third team All-NBA, they can take their victory lap with this series. And I thought the Clippers just had so many times where they made the proper adjustments. If Chris Dunn wasn't able to provide anything offensively, they get him out of the game. They tried the Ben Simmons thing early, didn't work. They gave up on that rather quickly.
Hey, what did Bill Simmons call him, the logo?
Yeah.
What did y'all think of Ty Lue starting Derrick Jones Jr. over Nick Batum in Game 7?
It worked out great, actually. He started out Game 7. It's on Game 7? It was amazing. He started out Game 7 great because they would have been down.
He did, yeah.
They would have been down by 9. Because Game 7, he had like 3 layups off a fast break, and he had like 2 steals, like hustle plays.
I think a block. He had a block too.
Yeah, he was good towards the end of the fourth quarter too. But I mean, it was questionable.
They don't win Game 6 without Batum.
Yeah, no, it was questionable
for
sure, but like it ended up working out because I think that starting 5 was really going to be behind when the game started. If it wasn't for Derrick Jones being a big hustle guy.
Yeah, it's been a big 2 years for any Derrick Jones fans.
I will say
back-to-back quality postseason performances from him 2 years in a row.
If he wanted Thunder to lose, the Clippers probably were a better matchup to beat the Thunder than
I agree.
Nuggets were, but Sad.
Strictly for length reasons.
Move on to the next series.
Yeah, we'll stay in LA. I'll go to the one that Aaron's been
We can
excited
stay
about.
we can stay in LA.
We'll go over to crypto. We'll talk about my bad, Staples.
Let's go to crypto. Let's go to crypto.
Aaron, take it away.
Buddy. I will say, bro, everyone has said Rudy Gobert can't play in this series. I'm just going, hey, it's my victory lap. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's hilarious, bro, when Rudy Gobert gets put in isolation on the perimeter, players' egos just get inflated to where they'll sit there and take a bad shot just because Rudy Gobert is guarding them. Like, the amount of times that LeBron and Luka got into isolation, or Austin Reeves with Rudy Gobert, and decided, instead of driving to the paint or, like, passing the ball and cutting, they decided to take a step back contested three or a contested fadeaway midi, and they missed. It was music to my ears. Like, every time I see that, I love actually the Rudy Gobert isolations. Obviously, he'll get, they'll score on him a little bit. Obviously, every great defender gets scored on. Better offense beats great defense. But and he held an isolation everyone to 35.8% field goal percentage in isolation. LeBron shot 6 for 21. Reeves shot 6 for 18. Luka shot 7 for 17. And the Wolves' game plan was to make Luka a scorer and not a passer, which I think is how we did.
I think it worked great. I think that went very well.
And that's what we did last year with the Nuggets too. In the semis last year, we made Jokic a scorer only and not a passer. And sure,
yes,
he leads to like 37 points, 40 points, blah blah. But at the end of the game, if you're not getting your other teammates going, and Luke, it's not gonna work out well. And I think he had, like, his assist numbers are super low. It's like he had 1 assist and 2 assists in multiple games this series.
Yeah. And we all know Luka's is a great scorer, and he can go give you 50 and win a game. But Luka's very similar to Jokic in the fact that Jokic does average a triple double, but Luka almost does. He's getting 9-10 assists a game on the regular, and I think you bring up a good point that the game plan to turn those great facilitators like Jokic and Doncic into scorers only, pretty much, has been very successful for Minnesota over the last 2 postseasons, and this was a very, very, very impressive series when winning in 4-1 over the Lakers. I think I was one. I don't think we really did official picks or anything in the last episode, but I thought the Lakers were going to win this series, but I'm also not shocked that Minnesota pulled it out. I am surprised though that they won in 5. That's not anything I saw coming. And I think this series, I think most people just glossed over the fact that the Lakers don't really have a true 5 on their roster other than Jackson Hayes, who's unplayable going into this series. And Minnesota just feasted off of that. Obviously, the signature moment is Rudy's 27 and 24 game in Game 5. And which, all right, no disrespect to Rudy, because we're going to let you keep victory lapping here. He's not this great offensive player. Let's be real. All right, let's just be real for a second.
He hasn't scored many points. It wasn't for us shooting 15 below %. Yeah. So all his points were off missed shots also.
It's just the fact the Lakers got to play these lineups with either Rui Hachimura or LeBron James at the 5, and the guy with 7-2 Rudy Gobert is going to feast on that.
And I think people also thought like small ball, like ever since the Jazz Clippers series a while ago, they think, small ball beats Rudy Gobert, simple, which it doesn't. Last year the Suns proved wrong. Last year, even with the I think the Nuggets really run small except Jokic, but and then also I think now people are coming to realize with the new CBA, versatility and depth beats star power. If you have a good player also with the versatility and depth as well. You saw it with the Timberwolves series. You saw it also with the Pacers-Bucks series. Like, the best player on that floor is going to be Giannis, but the Pacers have really good depth. Like Tyrese Halliburton is a star. If you have a star, really good depth, and then you're playing against someone who's a superstar of not great depth at all, the star depth's going to win. And you saw that. Because, like, easily, when, Naj Reid didn't have it going, you put Julius Randle and Gobert out. If Gobert's getting outplayed, you put Randle and Naj Reid. Or if you want to put Randle at the 5 and Jaden McDaniels at the 4. You can mix it up so many different ways, and it's such a good thing in the playoffs when someone's not going or trying to match someone's lineups. It's
definitely.
Yeah, this clutch was crazy.
Yeah,
9 for 10. The clutch.
Was that like the official clutch stat? Like within like a close game within 5 minutes in the fourth or something? That's crazy.
Perfect from 3, and he missed one. Like I think it was a midi or a floater. He shot perfect from 3.
Yeah. Randall was another one who had an awesome series.
Amazing.
And it kind of leads me into this. It's just you were talking about the small ball thing. People love to bring that up. How you can use the small ball lineups. I mean, Golden State's the famous team for it, to spread out defenses and take advantage of this poor matchups with the big guys. But I think at the same time, Minnesota's been proof of this the last 2 playoff series, and then Gobert and Randall in this series by themselves. You can do all the small ball you want, but if your opponent's gigantic on offense, you're not going to be able to guard him. And that's exactly what happened with the Lakers.
And one thing I like about the Randall trade, what I said when we did make the Randall trade, he's a way better shot creator than Cat is. So, like, when Ant's getting, like, last year in the Maverick series, literally, Ant was getting double teamed, was like, Cat, make something happen, and he can never make something happen. Randall can create his own shot off the dribble from the 3-point line to the post. And that helps Ant so much. If you double team Ant, pass, Randall's in the post, single, he can make his own shot happen. Which we didn't have that last year. Which I think, even though we had a better record and better seeding last year, I think this team is better built to win a championship than last year's team. Dude,
Yeah.
Because Randall's playmaking is also better than Cat's. And then
That's another thing. I think Randall, and somewhat rightfully so, had this reputation as a ball stopper on offense. But I think, yeah, he's moved the ball very well. He's made the right plays with the ball on offense.
And that wasn't the case earlier in the year. Earlier in the year,
No, not at all. And that was the worries with the Minnesota team early in the year. They've been playing their best basketball here down the stretch, which is obviously incredible. That's what you want as a fan. Another thing here, too, that I just take away, I guess like my overarching takeaway from the series is the thing about the Lakers that made us get past those roster, I guess, flaws with the lack of size and the lack of defense was the fact that when it's a close game in the final 5 minutes, you have LeBron James and Luka Doncic and the other team doesn't. Well, they did, and we had some worries about Minnesota late in the game. It's not that Anthony Edwards wouldn't show up. It's just their execution as a whole. Well, Minnesota in every game, at the end of games, in close clutch situations, were better than the Lakers. In those situations, in the clutch, when things were tight, Anthony Edwards was the best player on the floor. And that's not what I expected to happen. And I'm not surprised, but I just think that's a great sign for Minnesota going forward. I can't tell you how much I think that it spans the ceiling of what they can do.
His playmaking was insane.
Yeah, that's what was so great. I mentioned the Ant game earlier when we were talking about the Denver series. The Game 4 Ant performance with 43. That was probably the best game of his career, in my opinion. And I'm not like Aaron. I don't watch every Timberwolves game, but from what I've seen, that was an unreal Edwards performance with with decision making, and that's where he's just taking a leap forward. And that's what's so exciting about him as a player. What is he? 23 years old. Every year he's added something major to his game. This year it was the playmaking, passing out of those double teams, and instead of when he's doubled, trying to make it happen, trying to play hero ball, he's learned to just make the right play, trust his teammates, which is what superstars do. That's what Jokic does. That's what Luka does. All these great facilitators as on top of the scoring, and I think we're seeing Edwards grow into that type of player right in front of our eyes. And I mean, there's no telling how good that guy's going to be.
Yeah, I love when superstars trust their teammates in the clutch, especially when they're wide open. All right, Thunder Grizzlies.
I got nothing.
Devin, go ahead and say what you said earlier.
Yeah, I just want to say, I just think it's, shout out the Thunder. Unbelievable team. I think it's very convenient. I just think it's awesome that John Morant figured out exactly how to stop the best team in the league as soon as he got injured. I think that's so cool. How he caught it. He got it right as soon as he got injured. He was like, I figured it out, guys.
Because the Thunder wouldn't have made adjustments at all.
No. The Thunder can't change. Only
they can. They have no versatility at all.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Jimmy Butler last year when Jimmy Butler lost, like when he was hurt, and the Celtics were like, the Celtics beat him last year, and he was like, "You're lucky I was on the floor." I was like,
right.
You're hurt every playoffs.
Exactly.
Sorry, Landon, we're just completely dumping on your team right now.
Yeah, sorry, Landon, but that was truly insane. That's a crazy thing to say.
Listen, I will say, if you, I don't know, it reminds me of the Paul George, like Damian Lillard, like that's a bad shot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a great comparison. Actually, it does. It's very much reminiscent of that.
But you don't guys say that. You may think that. I like the confidence, but you don't guys say that.
Right.
I don't know. It's gonna be. I think to beat the Grizzlies was gonna be. Even in the future, Landon, if y'all get a better team, y'all with those core, if you have a good lengthy wings who could play good defense, y'all struggle with that. Especially with Bane being small wingspan, short guy, Ja being a short, he's very athletic. But I mean, anyone like Jalen Williams, Caruso, Shea got a long wingspan. Lou Dort, not really. He's not long and lengthy, but he's a tough guy. Just stick on Jaren. Like, I know that every team's a Thunder, but like, that was like the worst matchup possible for the Grizzlies. Like the worst matchup possible. Obviously, they're the best team in the league, but as in like matchup wise, with the wings and everything. But I think he'll beat
Y'all still taking OKC or the field in the West?
the field. I think there's a team that also has very good versatility. They can match the Thunder versatility.
I don't know. I think it's the Thunder's year to get out of the West.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. In my honest opinion, I think Thunder better than the field. My only hope is if we play the Thunder as in the conference finals, we beat the Warriors. I just hope we win like 2 games. Like give me like 6 good games. I'm happy. I don't want no like Grizzlies 40, 50 point blowout. Respectfully, Landon.
Y'all got anything on Cleveland, Miami?
Yeah, I love that the Darius Garland Tyler Hero beef. The random beef is like you can't play defense. No, you can't play defense. Yeah, but you're worse than me at defense.
Yeah, that was.
The one thing I'll say is I thought it would have been very easy for Cleveland to kind of lay down once they got out ahead 3-0 and just go for the whole gentleman sweep gimmick, and they didn't do that. They just annihilated Miami, embarrassed them on their home floor in Game 4, and finished off the sweep.
I was shocked by that. I thought Spoelstra would get him one, which is so like cliche to say, but I don't know. I thought.
Also,
I think the Heat stink.
Yeah,
The Heat
I mean they were 10.
Tyler Hero saying, "I need Jimmy Butler to win." It's kind of
that was wild.
There's been a lot of wild post game quotes recently.
Yeah, people just get so comfortable, man.
Hey, I'm here for it. Makes the league more fun.
Celtics Magic. My only thing is Paulo Banchero. That's about it.
Well, all right. Well, let's talk about that for real, because I think there is actually something in there. I mean, the Heat watching them. No disrespect to any Cavs or Heat fan that may stumble upon this podcast. It was a disgrace, man. I'm sorry. I mean, the Cavs are unbelievable, but that was an absolute, mockery of the sport, honestly, for Miami.
Yeah,
it was bad.
Trae Young would have done better.
Maybe. They probably would have got mopped up too, but
we got Avalanche anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I think any of those playing Eastern teams would. Bulls, Heat, Hawks, any of them. Anyway, all right. Next segment. Paolo and Franz were impressive in this series. Now, Franz was horrid from 3-point land, and that's obviously the next step in his game. But this is an Orlando team that I was really excited about going into the season before it started. I really thought they had a chance to be one of the top 4 teams in the East and have that home floor advantage. Now, they've dealt with injuries all year. Suggs has been out the whole year pretty much. Paolo got hurt early. Franz missed time. Everybody important for them has missed time. So obviously the season didn't go the way they wanted to, but the defense is still there. I believe they led the league in games where they held their opponent under 100 this year. They had, like we talked about, they have that dominant, really bright future duo of big-ish wing type players with Franz and Paolo. It's a really unique duo, and it'll be interesting to see the type of roster they surround them with, because they just need shooting. I mean, we've talked about it with Orlando all year, how they need shooting, and yeah, it'll be interesting to watch them going forward.
That's supposed to be his job.
What was that?
It's like Contavious Caldwell-Pope is supposed to be his job.
I mean, credit to them. They tried. They went out and got yeah, it's not like they haven't tried. They went out and got KCP. He just hadn't worked out. No, 2 years left in that contract.
He gave good defense,
but it's not looking good. Yeah, no, for sure. But obviously, they didn't get the KCP they were hoping for. And I guess on the other side of the series from Boston, I think that just obviously, yeah, they got out of there 4-1. Obviously, what you wanted to see from them. I just think the only thing with them going forward is what's their health situation, specifically Drew Holiday, because they need him. And then Tatum missed a game in this series, but wasn't anything too serious. Tatum had a great series outside of missing that game. And it's just, look at and then obviously Porzingis, as we always know, is always a question mark with injury. So
I can see the Magic.
Just something to keep an eye on with Boston.
Yeah, I'm taking the Magic over. Whatever number they put out next year for the Magic wins this season, I'm putting the over. Because I think they're going to be I think they'll be like the Timberwolves last year. As a young team, and they probably will. Like, I can see them making the Western Conference Finals. The Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah, the Eastern Conference Finals. Because like they've lost in the playoff first round back to back. I mean, like we did against y'all and then the Nuggets. I could see them making an ECF run next year if they stay healthy, and if they make a transactional, which I think they will.
Yeah, it's health and just the continued development of their current roster, improving the spacing, maybe even internally, just having their guys now just become better shooters. But yeah, they're going to be exciting team to follow. Y'all want to talk about Detroit and the Knicks? You want to talk about the Pacers? We can do whatever.
He's a great passer and a great leader and how he passes.
Let's go to that Knicks series.
All right, let's go to the Knicks series.
Yeah, let's go to the Knicks.
I don't know. outside of the Knicks, but the Knicks, they're gonna get wiped next round. I'm sorry, they're gonna get wiped.
This guy hates the Knicks.
I've never seen a bigger Knicks hater, a random Knicks hater than
Yeah,
Aaron.
random Knicks hater.
No,
You're a team of a West fan,
I'm
a fan
tired
of a Western team.
of the hype. Like I just don't. No, they're bro. I just don't.
What hype?
Man.
Yeah, what hype are you talking about?
Bro, they traded 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. Traded their depth basically with DiVincenzo and Randall for Cat, and then since they traded for Mikal and traded for Cat, they had to let Hardenstein go. Like imagine right now you have OG, Randall, Josh Hart, Brunson, DiVincenzo, Hardenstein, and Mitchell Robinson, and Miles McBride. I'm just saying, bro. I just don't. You get a lot of media hype.
You'd rather have DiVincenzo and Hartenstein than Towns and Bridges?
I'm talking DiVincenzo, Hardenstein, and then
Talking about Julius Randle?
Julius Randle. And
and Randall.
Yeah, I would.
Still, though, you'd rather have those three than.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to play Cameron Payne playoff minutes or Miles McBride playoff minutes that well. Sorry.
Dude, Miles McBride's not bad. I'd
rather have DiVincenzo and Miles McBride. But, anyways, one reason I even say that is because the reason their offense is amazing. Their offense is going to be amazing. Their defense is going to be the reason they lose games. Because defense, you have to have a top 10 defense in the top 5 to be a championship. To win a championship, that's been the case. To go every.
I don't think any of us thought they were going to win a championship.
I don't know what hype you're getting. I mean, I thought the Knicks were going to be like above
I'm
average.
talking ESPN. I'm talking about First Take.
Oh, brother.
All right. They're in New York. That's all that is.
Yeah.
We don't give that any oxygen.
I cannot wait for them to get wiped. And you go on Twitter, you see tons, anyways, because I live on Twitter basically. Yeah, their interior defense stinks. The perimeter defense is good.
I think this might be about Karl-Anthony Towns.
It might be
about Towns, man.
Yeah.
No, I got so much crap, Timberwolves fan, about trading for Julius Randle and DiVincenzo because we started out rough and they started out good. And when things flip-flopped, one thing about me, I always remember. I'm just saying, bro. I've gone through the same thing with Cat past 5-6 years. I love Cat. That's my guy. But Knicks fans are like, Cat's a playoff dropper. Yeah, I know. I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it the past 5 years. Because he can't play defense. He's literally...
No, I agree with you. It's a problem.
He's a Luka Doncic.
It's definitely a problem.
And then he fouls, too. He fouled. But when he fouled out, bro, and his foul was so stupid. You know how hard it is to get fouled out in the playoff game?
Yeah.
It's
and
hard.
Trust me, like, I believe everything. I've never been a Cat guy. Like, I don't have any disdain towards him as a person or anything, or even as a player. Like, he's objectively a really good basketball player. He had a great season. I've just never been a big fan of just watching him. I've never been, no disrespect, but I've never sat down and been like, oh boy, I get to watch Karl-Anthony Towns. He's never done that. He's never done it for me.
I don't know why they don't run. I guess I see why, because you have to sit Josh Hart probably, but he's way better at a 4 than a 5.
Yeah.
Like, I understand why they don't put Mitchell Robinson and Cat out there at the same time, because you have to sit either Josh Hart, OG, or Mikal. But
it's just the fact of having your 5 best guys out there.
Yeah,
and as we know, Thibodeau is going to do that. Speaking of Tom Thibodeau, what an awful series.
Yeah.
From the head coach of the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
Now, all right, the Knicks won this series, first of all. I think we've said nothing but bad stuff about the Knicks. The Knicks won this series, though, because Jalen Brunson put the team on his back.
Jalen Brunson is amazing.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of fun players to watch, Brunson was one of them. I mean, that shot over that movie put on Asar Thompson.
He's fun to watch when he isn't foul baiting. I'm anti-foul bait. I'm just so like I'm anti-Luka, if you get fouled shooting a layup, cool. But if you're a whole intention going up for a layup or shot, I want to hope. Okay, maybe I have hatred for the Knicks. I'm going crazy.
I don't get it, man. I mean,
I'm just saying, bro. Like,
just try to give them their flowers. They won in 6. Brunson was awesome.
That Brunson was wide open for a 3, pump faked, and then ran into the guy. I was like, shoot the dang 3 you had wide open. Like, I just don't like.
I don't disagree.
Anyways, but yeah, Brunson's amazing. Brunson's a top 10 player in the NBA, in my opinion.
I don't think that's crazy to say. I
think Brunson's top 10. And I also like Josh Hart, too. I'm a
big Hart fan.
Yeah, Hart's great.
Huge Hart fan. I like their play. Obviously, I said I'm not a Cat guy, but I like OG. I like Bridges. I like Hart. I like Brunson. I like those guys. Yeah, it's just, obviously, we talked about their offense. Even then, there's just so many times where it's, all right, Brunson, save us. We got nothing. Go do it for us. And I don't see them
They don't have a lot of
I don't see them giving Boston much of a fight. I would be surprised if it went. I'd be a little surprised if it went to 6, but I
I
don't
wouldn't
know.
be shocked. It's gonna be. I think they win at least one at home.
I think they'll for sure. Yeah, they'll for sure get one.
It depends
I
on
think they're
Drew
talented
Holiday,
enough.
Like
if one of the Thompson twins figure out how to shoot an effective 3-point ball, Asar or Amen,
It's over for the league.
Over, bruh.
I think I heard this somewhere. Imagine how fun it would be. Well, I don't know if it would be fun or not. I just think it'd be interesting.
That was Chris Brenner and Kevin O'Connor that said that. They're 1-on-1s.
No. What if they're on the same team?
That'd be like
I mean, obviously they play no TE together, but just in the NBA, if they're on the same team,
they'd be unplayable together. You couldn't have two guys out there that can't shoot the ball like that. You can't.
No,
do it.
like,
sure you can.
At least Draymond Green, he'll hit 2 out of 8. Like today, he hit 2 out of 8. I only see the Thompson twins hitting 1 out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sitting here saying it'd be some great lineup, but I'm just thinking, it's all hypothetical.
If
how fun it would be.
If you need to stop on defense,
or if you need to hit a tough spin.
Yeah, I can see the lineups, bro. Like them, just like everyone is hogging the paint. Anyways, continue.
I just think it'd be fun if the two best athletes in the NBA were on the floor at the same time.
Cade Cunningham.
Yeah, should we move? Should we do?
This was a solid Cade Cunningham series. Let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. Let's talk about the Detroit Pistons. Detroit got the 6th seed, goes to 6 with this Knicks team. Unbelievable year for this team, specifically Cade Cunningham, who asserted himself into a star status as a player.
Oh, I love Cade.
Yeah, big, and obviously we've known he's had the tools. It's just we've been waiting to see if it's going to translate to winning, and it did this season. He was so much fun to watch. Asar Thompson was great. Malik Beasley, a streaky guy his whole career, finally had a solid, steady season. Obviously, he's going to go down in infamy for the way that series ended, but besides that, he had a great year. A guy I wanted to talk about, too, specifically for the Pistons, just because it kind of hits home, is Jalen Duren. I watched almost every game of Jalen Duren's short college career at the University of Memphis for one season, and he's been everything I thought he would be in the NBA. And it's just the type of guy. It's one of those players like a Josh Hart, where everybody wants that guy on their team. And I thought he had a really, really good series as a rebounder and as an athletic, physical presence at the 5. It's just his only problem is he gets in foul trouble, similar to his days at Memphis. So it'd be nice if he figured that out. But that's just another piece to add on to this great Pistons team that we got to see. I mean, not great yet, but this team that has a chance to be on their way to being a great team. And they were really fun to watch in this series, just playing an older school style of basketball. And they went down 3-1. They were right there to tying it up, sending it to 7. They just couldn't quite pull it out.
I think, honestly, unpopular opinion, did they call that foul in Game 4?
You talking about the Hardaway corner shot?
Yeah, Game 4 Hardaway foul. I mean, Hardaway corner 3. If they call that foul, it looks kind of scary. I can't believe they didn't call it foul. That's what talking about. That foul wasn't.
You can't believe they didn't call a foul on the New York Knicks?
Hey, I'm not the only one who hates the Knicks.
On the game-deciding shot in the NBA
playoffs. Yeah, you can't believe they didn't call a foul on the game-deciding shot on the New York Knicks.
I mean, just throw the Knicks part out. It's just, I mean, I don't know.
Can't throw the Knicks part out.
It definitely looked like a foul.
No, it was. He got bumped. He got bumped in the shoulder going up.
It was a foul.
Yeah. Anyways, speaking of game-deciding shots, we have a little argument to have here.
I hate that we didn't have this for the first time on the podcast, but
listen, bro. No, I think personally, superstars make the right plays.
All right, first of all, we're talking about the end of Game 6 where Cade Cunningham passed the ball to Malik Beasley, and Malik Beasley dropped the ball and it went out of bounds instead of having the chance to shoot the wide open 3. Continue.
Yeah, I think that that's the right play. Devin thinks it's the terrible play. I think you do.
I'll clarify what I think in a second. Hey, go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, so I don't want my superstar taking the last shot if it's a good shot. Like an ant step back 3 in the clutch, I want that. All right. But for instance, Cade Cunningham, at that moment, it would have been a fadeaway, like 28-foot 3, double T contested. Malik Beasley was wide open. He passed ball Malik Beasley. Beasley dropped it, but it was the right decision. You want that out of your stars, like we said earlier. You want your stars to make right decisions in the clutch, trust your teammates. And Malik Beasley, who's the best 3-point shooter in the league this year, efficiency-wise, and
based
volume.
on percentage.
Percentage and volume. Ant made more threes, but Beasley's the better 3-point shooter in general. But yeah, no, you trust your teammates. That's what you want out of your star.
Is that all? Is that all you had to say?
I'll counterfeit off your
All right,
Whatever.
listen. If you happen to be stumbling across this podcast, let me know. What I said is, as a Pistons fan, if my argument is that Cade Cunningham is a superstar, he needs to take that shot. I don't even want to live in a reality where he passes that ball. I don't want to live in it. If you're double teamed, I don't care. Take a double team shot. Brunson would have. Brunson would have took a double team shot.
Well, he couldn't have got off. He's too short.
It doesn't matter. He would have took the shot, and they would have lived. They would have lived with the results.
Brunson only passed in the clutch this series to Cat in that one game. Cat hit his threes in that layup. That was Brunson passing to Cat.
Because he's in a stat. Listen, this is the difference too.
Oh, all of a sudden it's different.
No, listen. I'm about to tell you why. If you're a superstar and you're established and you're known to take those shots, then it's appropriate to pass. But Cade Cunningham, he's not an established superstar.
Brunson's not known to take double team threes.
He's known to take clutch shots though.
If it's a mid-range, I'm not mad. It's a 28, 30-foot three is double teamed.
But I'm just, Aaron, strictly what I'm saying is that as a Pistons fan.
I'm not mad at it.
Huh?
I'm not. If Ant did that, I'd be happy with it.
If Ant passed the ball like that and it went out of bounds?
Well, his pass didn't go out of bounds. The guy dropped it. But it was a good pass.
The ball ended up out of bounds, but yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Beasley dropped it.
Like airmailed it. But yeah, so if Ant passed to DiVincenzo or Naj Reid is wide open for three to win the game, I'm not mad at it. You want that? It's like a whole trend of like great players. You trust your teammates in the clutch. Jordan did it. LeBron does it. Curry does it. Everyone does it.
Well, the reason the Jordan things are so famous because he was notorious for taking the last shot. So whenever he does pass, it's like a big deal. That's like the reason those are famous, and the reason is because he's the guy that's going to take the shot. Like that's him. Cade Cunningham, we don't know what he's going to do yet. He hasn't been in these clutch moments, and he's established he's going to pass instead of take the shot. But we see other guards like Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, who are in the East. We know they'll take the last shot and live with the results. But Cade Cunningham passed it.
I think it's a big deal because it was Game 6 of the NBA Finals.
I mean, sure, in that context, yes, but it's remembered historically because Jordan passed the ball.
Because it was okay. Wait. So when LeBron, what do you have LeBron at all time?
2.
When he let Kyrie Irving take that last shot against Curry in Game 7 NBA Finals, are you mad about that?
No, because LeBron, I don't think LeBron is like that kind of guy that's going to take that last second shot. I think he should be, but he's not. He's proven time and time again he's not. So it's like at this point, what are you going to do?
It's because he makes the right play.
Are you mad at Chris Bosh?
If he has a shot, he'll take it. But if he's getting doubled or if he has a teammate.
That's why he's not the GOAT.
There's been numerous accounts of Jordan passing in the clutch. As you should if you're a great player, you make the right decision.
I'm just saying, Aaron, if I was
if Malik Beasley was contested and not wide open, I see what you're saying. But he was wide open.
Well, first of all, how much time was left when Cade Cunningham passed him that ball?
Like 1.5.
It was gonna be at the buzzer. And here's the thing: they were down 3, and they had a beautiful play drawn up to avoid the Knicks having the chance to foul up 3. They got the ball quickly swung around the arc, and they got a wide open look from 3 with their best 3-point shooter. End of story.
Do you also think that maybe there's a reason that Malik Beasley's wide open?
No, there's not. I doubt the Knicks wanted to leave. I doubt the Knicks wanted to leave one of the league's best 3-point shooters wide open with a chance to tie the game. And the only way that they can tie the game, no, I don't think the Knicks wanted that to happen.
Continue on, Pacers Bucks.
Okay, moving on. We're going to cover Pacers and the Bucks, a series that ended in a 4-1 win for the Indiana Pacers, Devin's beloved Pacers. Pacers in 5.
Pacers in 5.
And this one, I mean, honestly, obviously I have some things to say, but at the same time, I mean, it wasn't really all that exciting, which is good for the Pacers. I mean, they went in there and did their thing. They won in 5. They dominated. They were the clear better team than the Bucks. I mean, the Bucks' one win came off a legacy performance as part of a legacy series for Gary Trent Jr. And it was just one thing from the Pacers. Thought Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith were great. They each shot a very high percentage from 3-point line, and 2 of the better defenders on Indiana's roster. And I just thought all around for the Pacers as an entire team from top to bottom with their depth, they dominated this series and did what they needed to do, which is how they want to do it as a team. It's a very deep team, a team with a bunch of lineup options, and they were able to get it done.
Yeah, man. I think that not to be that guy that's like, people don't watch my team play. But I think if you watch the Pacers play, especially since past the All-Star break, this was kind of a layup pick for you.
1,000%. And I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched the Pacers done because I haven't, but
yeah,
I could have told you that.
But yeah, so
the Pacers when I watch the Anthony Edwards chase down block.
look, this guy brings up the Anthony Edwards chase down block. You would have thought this play was Game 7 of the NBA Finals. But yeah, just complete domination. Obviously, unfortunate Dame couldn't play. Would have loved to see him in the series, maybe bring some Dame time moments. The on the court drama with Halliburton was super entertaining. But just complete domination by the Pacers. They were better at every position outside of power forward. With the
I mean, Giannis was awesome,
Yeah,
as
of course.
expected.
Right.
But the good news for Indiana is he was pretty much the only one other than Gary Trent.
Let me tell y'all about Gary Trent, man. Gary Trent in this playoff series, the best you've ever seen in my time. This guy broke Ray Allen's single game 3-point record in the playoffs.
He did.
Twice
Twice
in the same series.
It was unreal.
Are we serious?
Disappointment is Kyle Kuzma.
All right, but let's be real. Did we really expect anything from him?
Yeah, just like a little bit of.
I didn't.
A little bit. No, I'm asking him to drop 20, but like 10 and 5 maybe.
Dude, it's Kyle Kuzma.
I cannot believe the Bucks traded Kyle Kuzma for Chris Middleton.
You mean the other way around?
Yeah, excuse me. Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma. You get what I'm saying.
That was
unreal. Kyle Kuzma contributed nothing to the series as a whole. Chris Middleton is the reason the Bucks won those 2 games last year.
Say what you want about him, but he steps up in the playoffs.
He does.
Who's that?
Yeah.
That
Chris
NBA
Middleton.
Finals run was clutch. It was so clutch.
Yeah, obviously the injuries have been a big issue. His availability has been an issue, and it seems like he was in trade rumors with him for a long time. But that being the move, I'm with you. It was a little.
Yeah, Gary Trent.
I don't think anyone liked that move at the time.
No, Gary Trent pulled a Westbrook where like he was like this year, like he hit like those clutch shots, and then he turned the ball over on the inbounds, and then he put the ball between his legs in the pass when they were trying to run timeout to get fouled for the free throws. I think it was insane towards the end. The whole series is boring besides Game 5 and towards the end of Game 5 when they blew the 7-point lead.
Yeah, Game 5 wasn't really that interesting until like the last 40 seconds either. I mean, as a Pacers fan, I was on the edge of my seat, but I'm like, as a casual viewer,
that Halliburton ISO was impressive. Like that's probably one of the most impressive game winners. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But that was like, or that was a tied game, wasn't it?
Yeah. Wait,
at the end? No. That was in overtime?
Yeah, that was
the game winner.
ISO on Giannis.
Yeah.
The ISO Giannis and get bombed and then not get blocked.
Yeah, man.
It was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Shout out Tyrese.
Yeah, he's goated. Wait, I'm goated.
Yep. So kind of went as expected for Indiana. I think with that, we can go ahead and transition and just talk about the matchups coming up. And as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Game 1 of Indiana and Cleveland already happened today. So I think we'll go ahead and just transition into that. And right off the bat, I have a stat from Kenny Beecham. I'm sure everybody knows who Kenny is. Shout out Kenny. Been around, been doing it for a long time. He tweeted out, or Ed's posted out, whatever you want to call it. When Tyrese Halliburton scores 20 or more points, the Pacers are 27-3. And tonight in Game 1, he had 20 plus points, and the Pacers went into Cleveland, stole Game 1. Now, obviously, Cleveland didn't have Darius Garland, a guy who has been battling some health problems. I believe it's a wrist in round 1, but nevertheless,
it was a toe too, right?
A toe, yeah, something like that. Nevertheless, even without Garland, it's still a dang good Cleveland team. The 1 seed in the East at home, Game 1, coming off. They've been resting for a long time. I mean, so is Pacers. It's not like these teams have been grueling it out. They grueled it out in the first round, but for the Pacers to go in there and win, obviously stealing that one has to take a lot of pressure off Indiana. And this series, obviously Cleveland has been not necessarily the dominant team in the East, but they've had the best record all year. They're the 1 seed for a reason. They've been incredible. The Pacers, to me, it's like similarly to Cleveland. They're very similar. The way the rosters are structured, the way the depth is, and I think it's fair to say Cleveland's just a more talented version of Indiana. But I don't think that means that they're going to win the series because of that. I think Indiana definitely has a shot to win. Now, if I was a betting man, I would have my money on Cleveland, but I'm very interested to see how this series plays out. I think a guy that's going to be really, really important in this series is Siakam for Indiana, because that front court matchup with him and Turner and Allen and Mobley, Siakam's, it's going to be interesting to see how the Cavs play the matchup with him. And just Siakam as a whole as a player, he's just been one of the more underrated second options in the league for a long time. It feels like he's been underrated forever now. And some people just forget that he's even on the Pacers, which is crazy. I mean, but yeah, he's been a really good player. He's has a ton of postseason experience. I'm excited to see the rest of the series play out.
But I think about I'm interested to see how the next game goes due to the Pacers shot 50% from three, 50% from the field, and 93% from the free throw line. They missed one free throw all night. It's hard to lose when you shoot that good, but it's also really hard to shoot 52% from three.
Right. Yeah, they're not going to do that every night.
Well,
No, buddy. Cleveland only shot 45, 23, and 72. And then when Donovan Mitchell has 13 for 30 from the field.
Listen, I didn't. All right, so pure disclaimer: I didn't get to watch the game. I didn't get to watch this game, but it looked like a really weird Mitchell game with the fact that he was 12 for 27 or 13 for 27 or something from the field.
Yeah, shots.
But he was 1 of 10 from three.
1 of 11.
1 of 11. And honestly, when you go 1 of 11 from three and you're still shooting close to, above 40%, it's impressive, but at the same time, very strange.
Basically,
really, really strange Mitchell game.
Was good when he shot threes bad.
Yeah.
He took over near halftime, and then he just dusted out again.
But then I think someone by the name of Andrew Nembhard and Tyrese Halliburton locked in and kind of like eliminated him from the game toward in like the last 4 minutes. Pacers playing defense can be hard to beat.
I think that might be that's one of the misconceptions I think about Indiana, because folks remember last year from their East Finals run, they had this reputation of this team that they were the fastest playing team. They were scoring a ton of points, yet they weren't guarding anybody. The Pacers are really, or I don't want to say really good, but they're a good defensive team. They've
been an elite defensive team in the past.
Yeah.
In the past month.
They had
towards the end of the year.
What's that?
They have the number 1 net rating since February.
Defensively or just overall?
No, top 5 overall net rating since February. And top 5 defensive net rating. They're top 5 in average offensive and defensive net rating since February, which would be All-Star weekend, All-Star break, post All-Star break. I think getting Siakam helped you a lot last year too, for defensive purposes.
Well, absolutely.
Yeah, and then Obi Toppin was playing good defense tonight too.
Obi Toppin, I heard people saying Obi Toppin didn't play good minutes tonight, and I think I must have watched a different game. I thought Obi Toppin played really well tonight.
Yeah, he played good defense. But I don't see. More so for me is I just want to see how the game goes when Halliburton, the team doesn't shoot 50 feet 3 from the field. There's magnet ball.
Yeah.
But,
we keep saying Pacers magnet ball, but they've only had one game where they've shot poorly from 3, and that was a game they lost against the Bucks. Every other game they've shot similar numbers to that. This is just how we play. Aaron Nesmith is an unbelievable 3-point shooter.
52% is crazy.
52% is crazy, but it will be above. It'll be above. It'll be in the upper 40s. It'll be 40 and above.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah, but it's gonna be always. I'm just telling you, man. Just don't be surprised if it's just like this the whole series.
I can't wait to see your first reaction to a playoff avalanche.
It's gonna happen. It's because it's going to 6 or 7, and there's in a 7-game series there's blowout wins by both teams, so it's gonna happen.
Yeah, people do overreact to blowout wins sometimes.
Yeah.
Next series for the East is Celtics-Knicks.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the Knicks.
Celtics and 4.
We did talk a lot about the Knicks.
Yeah, going back to Boston. Health is imperative here, and they're the more talented team. They're much way more well coached, and this is a series they should win. I don't want to say rather easily, but they shouldn't leave any doubt. I don't think. I'm thinking Boston in 5 or 6, and I think that's probably just going to be that.
Should we do predictions? Should we just do a quick Pacers Cavs prediction real quick?
We can.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on predictions, but I'm sure we can do it.
Yeah. But if we don't have to do numbers, but just winners.
I'll do numbers.
I got Cavs in 6.
Give me Pacers in 6.
Pacers in 6.
Yeah, I do think Cleveland needs Garland though.
Yeah,
I don't know if Garland doesn't play.
That's unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah, this Knicks-Celtics series. I'm thinking
Celtics in 4. If they're
Aaron's got the sweep. I don't know. I think the Knicks can get 1. I got Boston in 5.
I think the Knicks can get 2. Give me Celtics in 6.
And it was about that, the Celtics
we talked so much Knicks-Celtics earlier. I feel like.
Yeah.
You're getting in the Knicks. It's a Thibodeau team. Jalen Brunson's great. He's going to score 30 points a game. It's going to be cool.
He's going to play 5 guys 57 minutes.
Yeah. Someone's going to get injured.
Yeah, probably more than likely.
They're going to do the classic. They're going to throw Drew Holiday on Cap.
Yeah.
That's what they did last year when we played them, and that's what the Nuggets did last year too. To Caldwell Pope, right? Someone who's stiff and strong. They'll throw him short for length on the outside. But no, it's it's gonna be good series if it's healthy. I think Celtics would beat them. I just don't see them.
Wait, so you think it's going to be a good series, but you think the Celtics are going to sweep?
I mean, yeah, like would you say the Lakers-Nuggets series last year was good, but it was a 4-1 win for the Nuggets?
Pacers Celtics last year too. Closest series the Celtics played.
Yeah, like you can have good games and still be a good series and then get swept.
I'd say I just think if it's a close game, I think Brunson's good enough to get the Knicks one of those. So I got Boston in 5.
I'm interested to see what Brunson does with like length on him.
All right. Anyways, that leaves us with. I mean, y'all have any more thoughts on that series?
We talked about this series so much.
I just don't have any hard hitting analysis. I just think the Celtics are better.
Moving on, I wonder when the last. I'm looking this up. When was the last time a 6th seed and a 7th seed played in round 2 of the NBA playoffs?
Well, Aaron,
I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I got it.
That is crazy to think about. I've lost so much consciousness of. I mean, not really, because I know what seed every team is, but I've lost so much care for the seeding because it really just doesn't matter anymore, especially in the West, just because of how tight things are and how much matchups matter. It's really all about matchups. When it comes to the postseason.
Third time in NBA history. So the first time was the Rockets and Seattle Supersonics in '87, and then it was the Warriors and Lakers 2 years ago.
What was that, Jack Sigma?
Sounded like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
Nah, I think he was earlier than that.
When the Lakers beat y'all in the first round, they played the Warriors, who were a 6th seed that year also. Yeah. And then now it's the same thing. As you do a trend in the West the past 3 years where...
Yeah, a little weird.
The Timberwolves got unlucky because last we had home court advantage in the WCF, the 3rd seed.
Yeah, that was why. That was crazy. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but we have home court again. We're 5.5 point favorites. The point spreads are crazy, honestly. Looking at the point spreads I have the ESPN put up. Knicks, Celtics, Cavaliers, Pacers, and Thunder Nuggets are all 9.5 point. Well, the Thunder, Cavaliers...
Weren't the Celtics like minus 700 or something to win that series?
Yeah. So the Celtics, Cavs, and Thunder are all...
This isn't a betting show, by the way. We're not giving betting advice.
No, don't. Yeah, don't follow my... Unless you want to. But no. Like I said, the Thunder, Cavs, and Celtics are all 9.5 point favorites, and the Timberwolves are 5.5. But the 9.5 point favorites are kind of crazy to me. Because they were 9.5 point favorites today against the Pacers also. The Cavs were. And they got
Cleveland
beat by
was? Yeah, they started that.
Yeah, Cleveland was against the Pacers. They were 9.5 point favorites. That's a crazy line for a playoff game.
That is a crazy line.
Anyways.
So I got Boston, Cleveland in the East, and y'all got Boston, Indiana.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I could really see that Cavs Pacers series going either way. I don't feel great about it. But yeah, I'm just gonna go with the team that's been the best thing all year. I won't be mad at myself if I pick Cleveland and they lose. Like, oh well.
Yeah, the only reason I'm picking it against Cleveland is I just don't trust Mitchell.
What's so funny?
I think Mitchell's a good playoff player.
What's so funny about that, the whole Mitchell playoff thing, is that you have to give him this discredit for losing in all these round 2s, but he's also run into some just absolute monsters in round 2. Like, I don't think that he underperforms as much as someone else just overperforms.
I will say I'm really glad the Timberwolves weren't good during the Warriors' prime years, because I feel like if you were good during that time, you just wasted like a good team.
Yeah, it was a waste. It was bad. That 14-15 Grizzlies team is probably my favorite team we've ever had, either favorite or second favorite, and we didn't really have a shot.
The Rockets, bro, they should have a ring because they're for the freaking Warriors.
The
James
more likely. The Rockets, the Harden Rockets in any normal era at least gets to the finals for sure. Maybe multiple. Yeah, no, we're going to the West now. So yeah, we'll talk about. We haven't talked about the Thunder and the Nuggets in a while. So
yeah,
in that series, it's just the Thunder obviously going to be the favorites. They've been the best team all year, and I think the narrative here is just going to be it's Jokic and it's Shea. It's the two players that have been the two front runners for the MVP the entire season. And I think past that, when you actually dive into the on court thing, it's not like they guard each other. They do too. They both they're both the engines of their teams, but they play completely different positions. But yeah, this is one where obviously Denver's not as good. They're not as deep as Oklahoma City, but they had the best player in the world. But at the same time, I'm sure. They haven't done awards yet, but I think I'd be a little surprised if Shea didn't win MVP. Which personally, I don't. If I had to vote, I would vote for Jokic, but. Just with the way the season's gone, and it feels like this could easily just be a voter fatigue here, and they let Shea have it, which it's not like it's undeserving or anything. I could be good with either way, with which either of them two win. We're not here to debate the MVP. We're here to talk about the series.
Yeah, it's more like the winner of a series is like the loser would be like, yeah, like what if I told you he wasn't the greatest? You know what I mean?
Okay, who's your pick?
All right,
let's go Thunder. Low key, I feel like the Nuggets win. I wouldn't be surprised. But let's go Thunder in 6.
I agree. I got OKC in 6. I think Denver's just they have enough veteran experience on their team, and they have Jokic, they have Murray.
How do you guys think Chat's going to be able to handle Jokic? What do you think that's going to look like?
They're in a double team. Jokic is too strong for Chet, in my opinion. They'll probably run Hardenstein on Chet, and
That's
then
what I was thinking.
they'll probably run Holmgren on the helper side, like it did. That seems to help. That would do a lot. You want someone who's strong to try to stand up Jokic, I think, and have a helper side on the other end.
I think there's going to be multiple strategies for OKC. I think they have all the options in the world because they're the most versatile defensive team in the NBA, probably. But yeah, I could tell you one thing: it's not going to be Chet Holmgren guarding one-on-one.
No, Jokic will kill.
Definitely
He'll put Chet through the goal.
Chet's an incredible defender. He's an awesome defender, but he's not a great defender because he guards huge centers one-on-one and plays as an anchor. That's not what he does.
No, it's not going to be pretty. I have Chet guards one-on-one. But yeah, but the thing about Denver is that they need to have the folks on their team need to be hitting shots.
That's the thing. I mean, that's how you beat a team like this. You just got to hit shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, even them. Well, they're gonna double team Jokic, and I'm guessing they're gonna leave Aaron Gordon open, or leave Peyton Watson, or leave Christian Braun open, and don't let Jokic beat you. Basically, what they're probably gonna do, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I just wonder it could either be like that, what you're talking about the doubles, or it could be what y'all did with him and make him be a scorer. I mean, it'll be interesting to see.
I think Hardenstein could hold his own too. He's a big tough guy.
So yeah, similar to Zubac.
Hardenstein? Yeah, Hardenstein.
Yeah,
he'll play fine.
No one can obviously
as good as you can defense on you.
No one can guard Jokic, but right, yeah. I mean, I think these two back-to-back series, it's definitely good. It's two of the best matchups possible to handle him.
I might go Thunder in 5, honestly. I feel so bad for the Nuggets. Playing a Game 7 and 2 days later playing Game 1 at that traveling to OKC has got to be insane.
Yeah, and OKC, the rest is only going to benefit them. They're a young team. It's not like they're going to have. I don't think they'll have a ton of rest. It's going to be just more.
I think it's going to deepen it. It's not going to be. Mostly, it's not for the rest for OKC. It's more of like the Nuggets just played a grueling 7-game physical series, and then right away, and you get 1 day rest, and you're right back in OKC playing Thunder.
It feels like the Thunder haven't played. It feels like the Thunder haven't played in a month.
Bro, I know.
The series feels forever ago.
It's been over a week. 8 days rest.
Yeah, but it was one of the series. It was all the games I feel like were scheduled really close to each other. It got done in under a week.
So we had day breaks.
Yeah, they knew. I mean, they did the right thing. So yeah, no, I got OKC as well. With that, we could transition to our final series we're going to talk about, which is the Minnesota Timberwolves and Golden State Warriors series, the 6 and the 7 seed matchup, as we mentioned. And honestly, I think Minnesota is just a beefed up version of that Houston team that just took Golden State to 7. I think they play a similar style defensively with a lot of size, a lot of length, a lot of guys that can throw at Curry. I think the big difference with Houston and Minnesota is the rim protection, and Minnesota has Anthony Edwards, and Houston doesn't have a player close to that caliber.
Yeah, and same thing on my end on the Jokic, the Nuggets playing a 7-game series, then traveling the next day, and then immediately playing a playoff game. Same for the Warriors, and they're older. They played a grueling. I know, and Houston's probably more physical than the Clippers.
Oh yeah, no, Houston's the most physical team in the league.
Yeah, you played a physical 7-game series. And then you hop on a plane, fly from Houston to Minnesota, and the next thing you know, you're playing a game.
Yeah, with an older team with Draymond and Steph and Butler. And Butler and Steph have not been 100% at all.
Oh yeah, but the Rockets, I know it's dirty, but they were going at Steph's thumb like crazy on swipe throughs and everything.
Yeah,
tough deal.
I think this series is one of the more interesting ones just from a matchup perspective, and I say interesting because I think it's weird. But
it is very weird. It's very contrasting styles as far as the roster, just personnel goes. Because the Warriors are the ultimate small ball team, and Minnesota's huge, as we know.
It's going to be a lot of narratives too. Draymond, Rudy, Jimmy Butler back in Minnesota, and Steph Curry. There's a lot of fun narratives. I guarantee you there will be at least one fight in the series.
Yeah. I wonder who it'll be between.
It'll be between Rudy and Draymond. I guarantee. Or probably Julius Randle and Draymond, because Julius Randle loves smack. Anyways, but yeah, it's me. I say Wolves in 5.
I'll go Wolves in 6.
Go and say Warriors. Sorry, you say Warriors.
I don't know. I just feel so weird picking against Steph, and the Timberwolves just had I don't know, man. I don't want to say
The
7.
thing, I understand the Steph thing for sure. I hate picking against that guy too. But this is the same Wolves team that just beat LeBron and Luka.
Yeah, I think.
And the Warriors roster around Steph is definitely better than what the Lakers had around Bron and Luka, but I still don't think it's enough.
I would even. Yeah, I wouldn't even go that. I don't know. I mean,
we just saw Ant be the best player in a series with those two.
No, I'm talking about like you're talking about the Warriors roster. I think it's about this. I don't know. I might be the besides the size, besides Kevon Looney, they're about the same thing as the Lakers. I think, in my opinion.
They
Well,
were
at least-
playable big though.
At least they have playable bigs. Draymond and Looney can both
Yeah.
play the 5. I don't care how tall they are.
Draymond.
They can actually play the 5. Lakers
Well,
don't have
yeah,
anybody
my
who can
big
do
thing
that.
with the Warriors, obviously tonight it went Buddy Hield's way. Buddy Hield did not have that great of a series. I don't think overall. Like all 7 games. He played amazing today. But I just don't trust Buddy Hield and pods as your other options on offense.
Yeah, I don't love Pods as your starting shooting guard. But you know what I do love? I do love Steph, and I do love Jimmy Butler, and I love Draymond.
Bro, Steph took over, and that's the thing, bro. The superstars, bro, they can take over the like a snap of a finger.
Yeah.
But the Steph took over in that 4th quarter. It was insane. It was nuts. But and I was against Amen Thompson.
Right. Yeah, he was just face guard. He's just on him, just grabbing his hips all night.
It was Buddy. Yeah.
And
Anyways,
I don't want to be like the guy that just keeps saying 7 because the Warriors just went to 7. It's unrealistic for them to go to another 7, a game 7. So like if you factor in that aspect, I don't know. It's just such a.
Is this the Kuminga series?
I just think if it gets to 6, the Wolves are going to close it out at home.
True.
No, we have home
Oh,
court
that's
advantage.
right. Oh yeah, you have home court.
I mean,
Yeah,
Sure.
I'd almost be tempted to go Minnesota in 5 just because of that.
Here's one thing also with the big man, like they're going to be exhausted. Your backup biggest Kevon Looney and Quinn Post. You know what I mean?
Curry and Butler, they're great, man. But Minnesota, I feel like Minnesota's just way
I think it's
better.
the same thing as the Lakers. Your 2 best players. I mean, you have really 2 great players with your roster surrounding. You know, the roster.
It's not even guaranteed that the 2 guys for the Golden State that they need to be awesome. It's not even guaranteed they're going to be the most awesome players in the series.
Curry's hurt also.
And if it's up to me, they're probably not going to be. They don't have the best player in the series.
No. Well,
Yeah,
Curry.
I mean, I think it's pretty guaranteed Curry will have a good series.
I hate playing against Curry. I like watching Curry playing against the other 28 teams in NBA.
Yeah, that's how it works. So yeah, you love watching him when it's not your team. That's how it goes.
Yeah,
And I think that as maybe naive as this is to say, I think Jimmy Butler will have a good series because I really think he hates the Timberwolves that much. I don't think that's crazy to assume he'll have at least.
Target Centers Tuesday night. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro,
I don't think it's ridiculous to say Jimmy Butler is going to feel some sort of way playing against the Timberwolves.
But no doubt, for
Not
sure.
at all.
I wonder what the matches be like too, because I don't think you can have Ant guard Curry.
That's what I was just thinking. You can't have Ant guard court.
Well, y'all got McDaniels, Alexander Walker.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking,
Well, just strictly starting 5.
but no, I was listening to my Wolves podcast earlier, and they were going through matchups, and one guy said Ant on Curry, and it was like immediate no, because like you don't want Ant getting that tired out on defense, just chasing Curry.
Whoever's guarding Curry, you're gonna have to chase him around the whole game.
I
Screens.
I'm assuming it'll be like Mike Conley.
It's not gonna be one guy the whole game.
Right.
I mean, this is why it's great to have a roster that's super versatile and multiple defenders with depth. I mean, you could just
a DiVincenzo revenge series.
Yeah, I'm sure he's just itching to get revenge on the Warriors.
Anyways, that's all I got on that. It'll be fun though. I like the drama behind it, like the Draymond and Rudy and all that. That'd be fun.
All right. Just a quick recap. We did throw some predictions down on the second round series. For me personally, I do have the Timberwolves beating the Warriors. Then I have the Thunder over the Nuggets, setting up a Minnesota OKC West Finals, and then I have Cleveland and Boston each winning their series to set up the 1-2 matchup in the East Finals. And what was it that y'all had again?
Go ahead, Aaron. I'm still trying to figure out what I want to say.
Timberwolves in 5, Thunder in 6, Pacers in 6, Celtics in 4.
All right, give me Celtics in 6, Pacers in 6, Thunder in 5. Give me Warriors in 6. Give me Warriors in 6.
Golden State in 6 from
Devin. The Devin curse.
Could be
the Devin curse. I don't know, man. I'm not gonna do it yet. Ant's gonna have to prove it to me one more time that he's just gonna beat all my childhood superstars.
Valid. I don't blame you. This is like the last Infinity Stone.
Yeah, it really. If he beats,
it really is. I mean, he's gotten Bron and KD already.
Yeah,
Jokic.
He's got to get Steph.
The Warriors are a much better defensive team than the Lakers too. I just thought I should say that.
No, that's
Yeah,
fair.
no.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true.
They don't have someone
1000%.
Luka.
What's that?
That was crazy. They were hunting Luka. Okay,
Yeah. They were hunting Luka.
We get it. The Lakers were Swiss cheese
I
on
can talk about
defense.
that for a while.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it. We're going to try and come back at y'all again with another episode, probably at some point during the second round, and just talk about what's transpired so far. I hate going so long between episodes. Just, busy IRL stuff going on for everybody.
Too much to talk about, too. Like, right now we're in an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, too much to talk about. Anyways, yeah, follow Ball Talk Media on all socials. It's going to be at Ball Talk Media. I believe it's an underscore in the end. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and X, formerly Twitter, now X. Excited for a bunch of content we're going to be pushing out this summer, with even beyond basketball. And thank y'all for listening, and we will see y'all next time.